We went back home. He chilled for a little while. He got his stuff together, and then we just said goodbye.
A UCSD student said goodbye to his father late last night, not knowing it would be the last time he'd see him alive. Jimmy Arevalo was rushing to help a woman who had just rolled her car when a suspected DUI driver plowed into the wreck, killing them both. Good evening. Tonight we have learned that Jimmy Arevalo was a beloved elementary school teacher, and his son is not surprised that he stopped to help.
News 8's Marcella Lee is live in our newsroom with new information on the victims and the suspect's criminal past. Marcella?
Barbara Lee and Carlo, when Bernardo Arevalo hugged his father early this morning, he couldn't have known it would be the last time he'd get to hug his dad. Jim Arevalo was a teacher for 34 years in Calexico, alternating between 5th and 6th grades. But when school let out last week, he came out here to San Diego to help his son.
He's always doing that. I feel like really bad, I guess, because he's always putting himself out there.
Always helping people in need. It's the type of man 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo was. An elementary school teacher in Calexico, Jimmy was on his way home after visiting his son here in San Diego when he stopped to see if the driver of this Toyota Yaris was okay. 25-year-old Angela August had lost control of her vehicle, rolling it over on Interstate 8 in Alpine around 3 Monday morning. The CHP says Angela survived that initial crash, but while Jimmy was helping her, investigators say this woman, 30-year-old Sunny Hall, suspected of DUI, slammed into Angela's vehicle, killing both Angela and Jimmy.
There's some parts of the interstate when you're going back home, like if you go off the ledge, you're dead. I don't understand what a person would be doing, under the influence and driving down that road in the middle of the night.
Bernardo Arevalo says his dad had just left his apartment near the campus of UCSD after driving out to give him support during finals week.
He came and he bought me groceries because he knows I don't have money, and then he gives me money for school and whatnot. He picked me up from the library because he knew I was studying there till 2 a.m.
Angela was a recent graduate of UCSD. She got her diploma in December, but was planning to walk in commencement ceremonies this coming Saturday. Her mom is now planning a funeral instead of a party.
She was beautiful inside and out, and she just had a lot to live for. And I know she wouldn't have wanted to go this way.
News 8 has learned this isn't the first crash Sunny Hall has had, posting on her Facebook page last year this photo of her mangled Mercedes, writing, "I fractured my ribs, damaged my ankle, and fractured my face in multiple places," ending with, "I love that car." Hall's criminal history out of Washington state includes arrests for driving without a license, possession of drugs, and bail jumping. The DMV tells News 8 Hall did not have a California driver's license. She also has an outstanding warrant for driving on a suspended license in Washington. Now, I did talk briefly to Sunny Hall's mother tonight by phone. She told me Sunny is a good woman, loved by her family, and they will be standing by her. Carlo?
Marcella, the CHP says there is no indication alcohol or drugs played a factor in the first crash that Angela August was involved in. But they say the medical examiner's office will run toxicology tests to rule it out.
Mourners packed a small church in Alpine this afternoon to say goodbye to 25-year-old Angela August. She was killed early Monday morning on Interstate 8 in her hometown of Alpine. 10 News reporter John Carroll now live in Alpine with how one longtime friend and teacher remembered her. John, good evening.
Good evening to you, Chris. It was just down there on I-8 where Angela August lost her life along with another man early last Monday morning. Today, just down the road from here, more than 200 people packed into a church to remember Angela and to say goodbye. Until last Monday morning, this scene, a church packed to standing room only with mourners, would have seemed like some kind of nightmarish dream to Angela August's family and friends. Today, she was supposed to be down in La Jolla getting her diploma after graduating with honors from UCSD.
I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't drink and drive, so why am I the one to die?
That was Angela's brother Nathan reading from a poem called Death of an Innocent. The poem was chosen because of how Angela August's life ended. For some reason, her car ended up on its roof on I-8 in Alpine last Monday morning. It's unclear whether a teacher from Imperial County, 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo, stopped to help or if he hit August. What is certain, according to the CHP, is that this woman, 30-year-old Sunny Hall, slammed into both of them, killing them both instantly. Hall is a woman with an extensive record, including 6 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. Angela's mother, Dawn, says she's outraged that the DA's office hasn't yet filed any charges against Hall. She got out of jail Thursday night.
Appalled. I'm angry. I'm afraid for other people. that she comes out, she might be putting other people at risk.
Along with Angela's family, so many of her friends were here today, including Linda Davis, who for years gave her tennis lessons.
She just really had a way of making us all want to live and dance and be happy.
By all accounts, Angela August was a happy person. She sang, danced, and acted. But her greatest performance was graduating with honors from UCSD with a plan to teach.
And she had a way of making her presence known, but yet was saying nothing. She was very gentle, and but she was there. You knew she was there.
A white carriage hearse drawn by a single white horse took Angela August's body to be buried here in her hometown of Alpine. Everyone here left to wonder what might have been accomplished if this 25-year-old woman had gone on to live her life. Now, a strange thing happened after the funeral. A couple of mourners came up to me and told me they were practically certain they saw a woman who they thought was Sonny Hall, of all people, come into the church after the funeral, take a look at Angela August's body in the casket, shake her head, and then quickly leave the church. But by the time we got outside, whoever that woman was, she was gone. Live in Alpine, John Carroll, 10 News.
John, real quickly, more than one person thought they saw Sonny Hall there?
That's right, Chris. A couple of mourners came up to me afterwards, and they were just about 99% certain that the woman was Sonny Hall. They thought it was a very strange occurrence.
Strange is the word for it. John Carroll, live for us. Thanks so much.
The district attorney says the case is still being reviewed, and that means more waiting for the victims' family members.
We are angry. We believe it was avoidable. Our daughter was taken away. We didn't get to say goodbye to her.
Dawn August lost her daughter Angela on June 11th. CHP says a suspected drunk driver slammed into her disabled car on I-8 in Alpine. A man who may have stopped to help August died as well. The 25-year-old woman was 4 days away from her UCSD graduation.
She loved life. She would not have wanted to die like this.
30-year-old Sonny Hall of El Cajon was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. She was set to be arraigned last Thursday, but prosecutors wanted more investigation. The county released her from Las Colinas Detention Center that night.
She's dangerous. I believe she's dangerous to have out there.
August's mother doesn't understand how Hall is a free woman. Her main concern, that she'll crash into someone else, causing another family pain.
Nobody wants to outlive their children. It's such deep sorrow, deep pain, primal pain.
These are new pictures of August's demolished car. Her mother says they are evidence of Hall's poor decision to drink and drive.
We believe that the law will work and justice will prevail in the end.
We tried talking to Hall tonight in El Cajon. Her friends told us she wants to clear her name once everything settles. Mark?
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with some breaking news. She was arrested on charges of DUI after a car crash in Alpine that killed 2 people.
But the district attorney had to let her go free because the results of the investigation are not complete. Last night, Sonny Hall walked out of jail. Today, News 8 was the only station to track her down at a trailer park in El Cajon.
This is the first video we've seen of 30-year-old Sonny Hall since her arrest in connection with a double fatal car crash in Alpine. News 8 cameras caught up with her Friday afternoon in an El Cajon trailer park on East Main Street. She appeared emotionally drained as she spoke with 2 unidentified men. On Thursday, Hall was released from Las Colinas jail after the district attorney announced the investigation into the alleged DUI crash was not complete. News 8 wanted to know if she had anything to say, but she ran away when she saw our camera.
Hi there.
Go inside.
Hi. Hey, I'm with Channel 8.
I don't care who you're with. Get out of here. This is private property.
This is all that's left of the 3 vehicles involved in the collision early Monday morning on Interstate 8. Killed in the crash, Angela August, a 25-year-old UCSD student, and 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo, a teacher from El Centro. The California Highway Patrol says August crashed and rolled her car on an embankment first, then Arevalo pulled over to assist. That's when officers say Hall's vehicle plowed into them, killing both.
Are you the father?
No, I'm just someone who minding his own business.
This man, who declined to give his name, claimed the UCSD student was the one to blame for the crash.
Well, it's driving up embankments and overturning on the freeway.
Right.
What's her problem?
Great.
She drunk or something, leaving parties or something, we heard?
Hall, who has a long criminal history in Washington state, declined to make a statement on her own behalf.
She was involved. She was there. She crashed her car with those 2 other vehicles.
A lot of other people were there too. Pity that girl started the whole thing, huh? 25-year-old drunk.
Go. All right, no problem. Go. Private property, get out of here.
Okay.
The Highway Patrol says there is no indication that the 25-year-old UCSD student had been drinking that night. Toxicology results are still pending on all 3 drivers. Officers say Sunny Hall has been ordered to appear in court next Wednesday.
She's accused of killing 2 people in a drunk driving crash near Alpine nearly 6 months ago. But Sunny Hall was never charged until today.
Good evening, I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. Sunny Hall pleaded not guilty today to the June 11th crash. 10 News reporter Allison Ash is live in El Cajon with why it took so long for the charges to be filed. Allison?
Yeah, here in court today, we learned that Sunny Hall's blood alcohol level was nearly twice the legal limit when she was arrested by the CHP back in June. But she was released from jail the very next day. This time, prosecutors believe those charges are going to stick. Sunny Hall's back was to our camera as she was formally charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter and 2 more of DUI. This is one of the pictures she posted on her Facebook page before the June 11th crash on the 8 freeway near Alpine, where another driver, 25-year-old Angela August, had just rolled her car. Jimmy Arevalo pulled over to help her. Along came Hall.
And without braking or attempting to slow down in any manner, slammed at full freeway speed into Miss August's vehicle, sending it spinning across the freeway.
August and Arevalo died. Investigators knew Arevalo's death was caused by Hall, but they had to recreate the crash to confirm that August was still alive when Hall hit her car.
It's because the crash scene was so horrific, just trying to piece it all together.
Dawn August wore her daughter's UCSD ID tags around her neck at today's arraignment. She noted the differences between her daughter, who was days away from graduation, and Hall.
A person who's 30 years old that really doesn't have much to show in their life except a big, long criminal record. My daughter worked very hard all of her life to be what she is.
Hall's criminal record is part of the reason her bail was set at $350,000. Among the convictions on her rap sheet, bail jumping and escape. As her hearing wrapped up, she was taken into custody, something Dawn August says is the first step towards justice.
It's my only daughter, and every day is challenging to live without her.
Hall returns here Friday in the hope of getting her bail reduced. Her attorney will argue that she is not a flight risk. Now, if she's convicted, she could get 14 years in prison. We're live in El Cajon. Allison Ash, 10 News.
Now back to our top story. Prosecutors say Sunny Hall had a blood alcohol level of 0.15. That's nearly twice the legal limit when she plowed into Angela August, who was trapped in her own car, and the Good Samaritan who was trying to help her last June. News 8's Shannon Handy is here with new exclusive details on the case. Shannon?
Arrest warrant wasn't issued for Sunny Hall until this past Friday. Now, the reason it took so long is because investigators had to wait for the results of a crash reconstruction test, which are included in these exclusive documents.
Sunny Hall thanked her attorney Monday.
You're welcome.
Just moments before she was hauled off to jail on 4 charges, including gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated.
We're just grateful now that at least we're moving forward in this.
Dawn August has waited 6 long months for this day to come. Her daughter Angela was among 2 people killed during the early morning hours of June 11th, 2012.
Today I'm trying to honor her memory as well as Mr. Arevalo, who was a brave and courageous man.
Authorities say Angela lost control of her car along Interstate 8 near Alpine, causing it to overturn. 54-year-old Jimmy Arevalo pulled over to help. While he was on the phone with 911, Hall plowed into them.
Part of our investigation, we have answered the question that we believe that Miss August did survive the rollover and was still alive at the time the defendant collided with her vehicle.
According to this arrest declaration obtained exclusively by News 8, after denying she had been drinking, Hall later admitted to having 4 drinks that day. The documents also indicate that when questioned by paramedics, she tried to leave the scene. A blood test revealed Hall had cocaine in her system, and her blood alcohol content was nearly twice the legal limit. News 8 has tried reaching out to Hall in the past.
Hey, I'm with Channel 8.
I don't care who you're with. Get out of here. This is private property.
As for Dawn August, she hopes Monday's court appearance means Hall can no longer run away from the mistakes she's made.
It's my only daughter, and every day is challenging to live without her.
Hall's bail was set at $350,000. Her attorney requested it be set for $50,000, but the judge denied that request, in part because Hall has an extensive criminal background, which includes bail jumping and escape. Carlo, back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. A bail review hearing is scheduled for Hall for December 7th. If convicted of the charges, she faces 14 years behind bars.
Every day is a struggle to get out of bed.
That's how an Alpine mother describes the pain of losing her child in a horrific drunk driving crash. New at 6, how she honored her daughter, Angela August, today with an event that she hopes will prevent another family from growing through her pain.
I wanted to do something positive in my daughter's memory.
Angela August was killed last June, just 5 days before graduating with honors from UCSD.
We buried her on her graduation day.
It's been almost a year, yet her mother's agony is still raw.
It was brutal, and it was horrific for our family.
For the past few months, Dawn August has been working on this, rallying businesses and bringing together her daughter's favorite interests for a mini county fair.
It puts a smile on my face because a lot of these things are things that she liked.
A petting zoo, dancing, art, and silly things that made people laugh.
Nice. This was just to help our family survive. I mean, we're just dealing with every day, waking up and our daughter's not in our home.
10 News was in court in December when Sunny Hall was charged with 2 counts of felony DUI and 2 counts of vehicular homicide. Jimmy Arevalo, a stranger who stopped to help Angela that night, was also killed.
There was 6 months of reconstruction because of how brutal and horrific the crash was.
These businesses are donating part of their proceeds to Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
This is how everyone is helping, and they're not only helping our family heal, they're helping us raise funds for MAD, and they're also bringing awareness.
Sunny Hall's preliminary hearing is set for April 23rd. She is convicted. If she is convicted, she's facing 14 years in prison.
He lived by example, and he was the victim.
New at 7 o'clock, we are hearing from the widow of a Good Samaritan who was hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver on Interstate 8. Jimmy Arevalo was just trying to help a woman in trouble when the driver slammed into both of them. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. 10 News reporter Jennifer Jensen is in El Cajon with what Arevalo's widow says makes her husband's death all the more tragic.
We were inside that courtroom since early this morning and can tell you that it was emotional for 3 different families. But the victims' families were brought to sobs, and they had to leave the courtroom as 911 tapes were played just moments before that deadly crash.
911 emergency, what are you reporting? I'm on Interstate 8 and a car just turned over.
That's the voice of 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo of El Centro just moments before he was struck by a car and killed on Interstate 8. Arevalo was a Good Samaritan who had pulled over to call 911 after watching this woman, 25-year-old Angela August, roll her car.
Okay, well, which direction are you going, east or west?
I'm going east. Let me see, I'm going east. I'm right at Alpine, and she hit about 3 times.
The next portion of the 911 recording is too graphic to play for you. In fact, a few family members got up and left the courtroom as the prosecution played it. It was clear in the recording that seconds later, August, who was just days from graduating from UCSD, and Arevalo would be killed by an oncoming car.
My husband was a great husband, father, son, brother, and teacher.
Outside the courtroom, the widow of Arevalo told 10 News that her husband practiced what he preached to his young students, and how painful it is that he innocently died in this crash.
He didn't drink, and he encouraged his students all the time not to drink. He lived by example, and he was the victim.
Prosecutors say this woman, 31-year-old Sunny Hall, was behind the wheel of the car that plowed into them. Investigators say her blood alcohol level was .15 nearly 90 minutes after she was taken into custody. At times, Hall was visibly emotional in court, wiping away tears. Experts on the witness stand testified that in their opinions, it was that second crash that killed August, not her initial rollover moments earlier. Hall faces 14 years in state prison if convicted on charges of DUI causing death and gross vehicular manslaughter. In El Cajon, Jennifer Jensen, 10 News.
In the past hour, a drunk driver who killed 2 people in East County pleaded guilty to the crash.
We first brought you the breaking news on Sunny Hall at the top of the hour. She admitted to causing those deaths last year. 10 News reporter Maria Arcega Dunn was in court as the plea came in. She's live in El Cajon with the emotional response from the wife of one of Hall's victims. Maria?
Virginia, I just stepped away just moments ago from speaking with the widow of 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo. He was the man who was killed on the side of the road when he was trying to help Angela August, whose car had turned over. Now, 31-year-old Sunny Hall stepped into court today. She basically changed her plea. She has 16 arrests in her criminal past. Again, she pleaded guilty today. She's accused of driving drunk on Interstate 8 on June 11th, 2012. She drove her car into Good Samaritan 59-year-old Jimmy Arevalo and 25-year-old UCSD grad student Angela August. Both August and Arevalo died at the scene, and Hall was arrested. Her blood alcohol level was measured at 0.15% after the accident, nearly double the legal limit for driving, according to the prosecutor. Now, again, Arevalo's widow spoke in court today. Hall was very emotional listening to her address the court and, of course, herself. Arevalo's widow said no sentence would ever help anyone ever understand exactly the loss that she is suffering, that her 3 children are now suffering. She said that her husband, Jimmy, was such a good man, he didn't drink, and she felt it was ironic that somebody who was driving drunk was actually the person who ended up killing him. Now, again, Sunny Hall has 6 felonies from Washington State. She spent time in prison, in state prison there. Judge Thompson says that she will serve 9 years instead of 13 years in prison for changing her plea today. Her sentencing will happen on March 3rd. We are live in East County. Maria Arcega Dunn, 10 News.
Miss Hall can have her family and friends visit her every weekend in state prison. We get to visit our daughter every week too, except we get to visit her headstone in the cemetery.
Strong words for the woman who drove drunk on Interstate 8, killing a UCSD grad student and a Good Samaritan. It was an emotional scene, both inside and outside the courtroom, as Sunny Hall was given her sentence for causing the deadly crash.
10 News reporter Allison Ash is joining us now live with the new developments and the first public words from the woman behind the wheel nearly 2 years ago after the crash. Allison.
Yeah, and even before the court proceedings got underway, I saw Sunny Hall sobbing uncontrollably in one of the hallways in the courthouse. Now, the judge did not allow cameras in the courtroom, but it was a very emotional scene in there. Outside here, after court, family and friends of one of the victims who wore buttons like this one said that 9-year sentence is just not enough.
The death of our daughter signified the loss of a future, of hopes and dreams that will never be fulfilled. When a parent dies, you lose your past. When a child dies, you lose your future.
On June 11th, 2012, Dawn August lost her only daughter, Angela, while another family lost a father, Jimmy Arevalo. It happened here on the 8 freeway near Alpine after Angela August rolled her car. She was still alive when Arevalo stopped to help her. That was when a car driven by Sunny Hall, whose blood alcohol was 2 times the legal limit, hit and killed them both.
Miss Hall can have her family and friends visit her every weekend in state prison. We get to visit our daughter every week too, except we get to visit her headstone in the cemetery.
Dawn August read from a statement she made in court saying Hall would only serve half her 9-year sentence.
That is 2.25 years for each life that she took on June 11th.
Hall also read from a statement in court. Voice shaking, she said, "I am not a monster. I am a woman who made a terrible mistake, and I struggle each day to find a way to live with what I have done."
Every day when we wake up, we cry, and the cry doesn't stop.
Angela's father fought back tears, saying his is a life sentence, something Sunny Hall did not get. And at the end of Hall's statement and apology, she actually turned around and made eye contact with the August family. They told me afterwards it was simply too little, too late. Now, the family of Jimmy Arevalo did not come here to the courthouse for today's sentencing. We're live in El Cajon. Allison Ash, 10 News.
Before I do this, I do want to say I thank my family for helping me get through this, and also because it's a lot of pressure, you know. It's been a while since I performed. I gotta thank my friend Pablo for keeping me in there, because without him keeping me in shape and me getting off track, he stopped me from getting off track. I don't know where I'd be right now. I am so thankful for him. I'm so thankful they came in. I'm so thankful that everyone is here. So, free to go.
What is love by nature, falling from the sky, nothing to guide you through your life. I will always be there, no matter how hard you cry. Been worried about a thing, because I'm here to guide you through this way. Tell me how you feel, standing by my side. I was so complete. So I'm from this place now. Just stay with me. It'll be okay. We got to breathe. Been worried about a thing, because I'm here to guide you feel the ball and chain on me. I know I can never, ever be free. And it's hard to unwind the tie that binds. So I keep moving till the time goes by. So I try to remember your eyes. And I know our memories have gone by. And I know that you can feel my pain. So I lay on this grass and feel the rain. October rain pour down on me, drown me in sadness and set me free. October rain. I dream to stop this blinding cause. I sleep to make my days move on. And I'm scared to live life without you there. So I'll stay trapped in my disillusion square. When I forget all those troubled times, I'll move on, but for now I'll stay alive. And I know that you can feel my pain. So I lay on this grass and feel the rain. October rain pour down on me, drown me in sadness and set me free. October rain. October rain. October rain pour down on me, drown me in the sadness and set me free. October rain. October rain. Every time I look at something that reminds me of you, I force to stop this feeling, but that's something hard to do. Our memories will never leave, even through my grief. You're a part of me. Oh, I know that you can see. No matter what they say, I'll never forget your ways. Love will never change, even on the darkest days. Those darkest days. I'm afraid of the change, too adapt to you being gone. I can't help to feel so strange. It's too hard to move. Our memories will never leave, even through my grief. You're a part of me. Oh, I know that you can see. No matter what they say, I'll never forget your ways. My love will never change, even on those darkest days. Those darkest days. Memories will never leave, even through my grief. You're a part of me. Oh, I know that you can see. No matter what they say, I'll never forget your ways. My love will never change, even on those darkest days. Those darkest days. Those darkest days.